NGSCSports.com.
Chase,
You're
where are you?
listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on NGSCSports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
This is Gigi from Tough Enough. Welcome back to 3 Count Thursday.
What's your favorite match?
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
Who?
Welcome back to 3 Count Thursday, NGSCSports.com, one of our favorite clips. Something I always, it's always cool to throw that clip out there when we're talking about pay-per-views and what our favorite matches may or may not have been. Weird, Ryan, this show, the NXT Takeover London, regularly, obviously we're on the East Coast in the United States. We've always heard the European fans, the foreign fans, people outside of the U.S. complaining about what time the shows air, and really never really gave it much of a consideration. I know what the July 4th on the network from Japan was at 5 in the morning.
Whoa.
That was one of those things that, like, I had kind of planned like I was going to try to get up for it. I didn't. I didn't feel like I really missed out on anything. It was a house show. This one, I was all primed up. I was like ready to watch it live. And then as I'm catching up on NXT episodes, they run the commercial, and it's like 3 p.m. Eastern time. Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at work.
I was planning on catching an hour of it before I went to work.
Okay.
And then I was going to catch the other hour after work. And lo and behold, I got a telephone call that, hey, Ryan, we need you to come in a little early. So after putting a 12-hour day in, I went home and caught the first hour. And I fell asleep, Jim. Now, before I get really, really shamed about this, I didn't just doze off. I consciously turned it off and went to bed. So it did not lull me to sleep. After a 12-hour workday, the first 3 matches, Asuka versus Emma, the tag team match, and Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, kept my attention very well.
Okay.
Really good matches. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. I know the outcomes, so we're not going to spoil anything for Ryan here.
No spoilers.
I know what happened. I actually didn't know Bayley won by submission. Actually, I just saw that, so that was a spoiler to me there. But other than that, I know the outcomes. I could talk about the first 3 matches. We could talk about the undercard, which I assume we're going to see next week.
I know nothing about the undercard, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
I mean, you can.
We'll talk about that then too.
Okay. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Let's hear about the undercard.
All right, the undercard, and I hate to even call it that, but I guess in boxing terms, that's what it would be.
Let's call. I mean, the stuff that did not air
dark
yesterday.
Matches, if you will. Yes. 3 dark matches prior to the show. First dark match was a fatal 4-way tag team match. Fatal 4-way tag team match that had Jason Jordan and Chad Gable picking up the win over the Vaudevillains, the Hype Bros, and Blake and Murphy. So, stacked tag team match. All really fun teams to watch outside of the Hype Bros. I know we're not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of the Hype Bros. I can't really speak for you, Jim. But I don't think you're a huge... I like Zack Ryder, but, it's kind of sailed his ship.
I know, kids. I know nobody likes him.
Right, nobody likes him.
Jeez.
He doesn't get hype. He stays hype.
And I stay sick to my stomach.
So cool to see Jason Jordan, Chad Gable picking up the win here over there. So are you a Jordan and Gable fan, Jim?
I do enjoy them. I think that they're very good together. I honestly couldn't have told you anything about them prior to them working together. I mean, no offense to them. I'm not trying to be mean or put them down or anything, but they just didn't kind of reach out and grab it. Then when he started doing the ready wheeling in Gable and he had the towel, it was like, it caught my attention. It was humorous. And really, once they get in the ring, they kind of remind me of Haas and Benjamin.
Yes.
They kind of have that feel to them.
The world's greatest tag team.
So I enjoy it. I enjoy what they do. Yeah, the Hype Bros suck ass. What were the other two teams in that?
Yeah, they suck ass. You don't have to go that far.
No, they suck ass.
All right.
I'll go that far. You don't have to.
No, Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss.
Okay, did you see NXT?
So they get the plus with Alexa Bliss.
I think it was last week when they had the Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, what the hell was up with that?
What the heck?
I mean, unless it was filmed around the end of October?
I don't think it was. I think it was filmed.
Seems way too long.
It was filmed the day after. Well, I don't know. I feel like it was filmed in like early
November, which is also really close to late October.
I guess, but like, I mean,
we're experiencing Halloween style weather right now.
We certainly are. Except Saturday, I golfed the last weekend. It was the first time I had golfed since October.
Oh, wow.
I'm golfing this Saturday. We had me and my buddies had this day planned for months. It is going to be the coldest day of the month.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a high of 36 with like 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
You're an idiot. Yeah, good luck with that. I hope you guys have a great time.
If I live through it, I'm sure I'll have a great time. Luckily, a coworker of mine who I golf with regularly bought me a cart cover.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'll
nice.
at least be able to be blocked from the wind. They actually make, like the little propane tanks?
Yeah.
They make little propane heaters for in the golf cart.
Is that shit worth it? Is it that worth it?
The cover will be. I found out the price of a heater at a golf store in Lancaster.
No, I mean, is it worth it to have to go through all that crap? Why not just wait till it's nice and go golfing?
No. It's worth it.
Go catch an indie wrestling show and go golfing later.
Is there a show this week?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I honestly, I haven't looked. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but
there might be a Valor show.
No, it's worth it. I mean, last year, the first time I golfed in 2015, Ryan, when I left my house, it was snowing in Lidditz.
Okay.
I got to Honeybrook and it wasn't snowing there, so the course was open.
Whatever. You're hypothermia. The next match on the card, Elias Sampson picked up the win over Bull Dempsey.
That's bullfit.
That is bullfit. What's your thoughts on that, Jim?
That's bullfit.
Elias Sampson.
It's bullfit.
Are you even familiar with Elias Sampson?
Not really. Not really, to be brutally honest.
Okay, no, that's fine. He's the guy, the drifter guy, with the guitar.
Okay. I remember the
vignette
vignettes
about him.
Has he wrestled on NXT yet?
He has. He's done some wrestling on NXT. Really kind of quietly. He wrestled, I think he wrestled Bull Dempsey on a taping.
Okay.
Sometime in like August or something like that.
I'm glad it's made a lasting impact on our lives.
Totally. And I think it got squashed by Rhino or something like that. Or Corbin. I mean, he got squashed somewhere.
Okay.
But I remember seeing him I think he was part of, I think that's who Bull Dempsey beat the very first time he rolled out Bullfit. I might be wrong.
Okay.
But I remember him kind of coming
the
out
name,
with like
the name sounds
with
familiar.
the guitar like thrown over his shoulder. It kind of looked cool. Kind of like this whole drifter thing. You kind of see him in the corner playing a guitar like on a boardwalk. Just kind of panhandling a little bit. I don't know. Cool little gimmick. He picks up the win over Bull Dempsey. Final dark match. This is the one that everybody should be excited about. Sami Zayn returned. He actually wrestled a match and defeated Ty Dillinger. The perfect
That's
10.
insane.
Ty Dillinger. So cool to see Sami Zayn back. Like I said, I'm sure we're going to see these next week for your NXT shows. What we're going to have.
So So now that you know what's going to happen, tune in and watch what's going to happen.
You wouldn't want to tune in to see that tag match?
No, I actually do, and I want to see
Zayn
Sami Zayn's return.
Let's skip over the card. Did you see Sami Zayn's comments afterwards? They released it on WWE.com.
I did not.
Okay.
What were they?
It was a solid, maybe a 10-minute, video where he's out there, and the fans went crazy, just crazy. Thanking the fans, saying this, and that he's back. Sami Zayn is officially back.
That's awesome. How long do you think he's going to be in NXT? Do you think it's going to be a while? Do you think he's got to reestablish himself? Or do you think that he
doesn't have to reestablish himself in NXT one bit?
Or do they just keep him down there until there's a logical time to insert him, i.e. the Royal Rumble?
I would hope that they do that and keep it at a logical time. But it's the WWE, so I don't know what the hell they're going to do. With that being said, what the hell was I going to say with that being said? Sami Zayn back. It's exciting. I don't think they need him in NXT. I think there's plenty of top-tier talent there.
Yeah.
But where do they put him on the main roster? That being said, his debut on the main roster seems like so long ago when he actually injured his shoulder against John Cena in Montreal for the Open Challenge.
So it's 6 months ago.
So the main roster, if you're not an NXT fan and you caught this guy come up and you're like, hey, this is kind of cool. Have you cooled off on that too much in 6 months that it's like I don't know who this guy is?
Yeah, I think he needs to have a couple weeks maybe with NXT.
Like I'm talking like your under 14 age demographic, like your preteens that you're watching wrestling and you're a John Cena fan and you're a Roman Reigns fan, things like that. Are you going to care that Sami Zayn's up on the main roster? Is that going to sell you anything?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him here in his return to NXT and where they go, because I mean he was hot when he wrestled that match, man. It was such a perfect time to get him onto the main roster, and I mean I think when you bring him up, you have to remind people about that match.
That match was you do.
It was so good, and I think they did a good job on NXT showing when Bret Hart introduced him and the crowd going crazy. They need to do that on Raw. They need to do that on SmackDown. They need to remind people who Sami Zayn is and how excited they were to see Sami Zayn.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very interested in the Sami Zayn return.
Now, when we get into, we're doing a top 5, top 10 match coming up here.
Yeah,
our next week,
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, that's the one.
December
with
29th show.
Purrazzo joining us.
Correct. Yes.
Are we going with NXT matches as well? Or are we talking main roster matches? Just to side note here, real quick.
Honestly, because I'm pretty sure I know what my number one match is, and it's an NXT match.
Okay, so we're doing
because it's all under the umbrella of
the
WWE.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think we're not breaking kayfabe or anything here, letting people know that
right.
It's NXT is owned by the WWE. If I just ruined anything for anybody, I apologize. So I think we're safe in doing NXT matches because just off the top of my head, there's a couple NXT matches, but there's also a couple main roster matches. So it's my top 5 is not going to be all NXT.
So it's NXT and
WWE.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Now I'm just curious. So you say your number 1 match came out of NXT?
Correct.
Okay. I'm almost positive. I know it's got to be.
You probably do. You've known me long enough, but to hear what that match is, you have to wait until December 29th.
Right.
You have to tune in. And in fact, that night we will open up the phone lines to people give us their number 1 match. So start thinking about it. Think about it now, and then in just under 2 weeks on December 29th, 9:30 p.m. that's when we'll have Deonna Purrazzo on, and then once we get through that, then we're going to go through our top fives.